Alrighty, so I have no life, so I figured I would just jump into this and get this one knocked out tonight. This is our junior varsity week 5. Their initially scheduled opponent withdrew earlier in the day, and so we went into the queue system and we were paired up against a random opponent who was also missing an opponent. So we're going to jump in. This is the control map.
Now arriving at Lijiang, ready.
Good old Lijiang Tower. Now, admittedly, this is part of my strategy as well. When I started training the team and getting everyone together, we spent several hours on this map alone, just getting people comfortable with it because it's a common control map. It's also the tiebreaker map if things go to around 6. So anyway, first thing I always do, if you've watched this before, let's check out comps. Running Doomfist, Hanzo Bastion, Mercy Ana, solid comp on their team running Sigma, Hanzo, Kiriko, Lucio, meta supports, but let's see how it works. And a Sombra. Sombra's very boom or bust right now. If you get her to work just right, it's fine. But with Hanzo being the other DPS, it's hard to follow up on those. And Lucio and Kiriko can put out damage, but yeah, their team comp here is a little suspect. But let's see how things go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Right. Also, for the sake of time and brevity, I'm going to try to keep my pauses down to a minimum this time. We'll see how that actually goes. All right, Doomfist going into the point. Hanzo taking a really wide open angle. That's nice. Problem is that Doomfist is all cut off. He's got a little bit of support. Bastion is completely alone. One thing to keep in mind with Bastion and his cooldown, he basically has 12 seconds in, 12 seconds off between that turret mode. It's the trade-off for him doing so much damage and being able to move is that he only gets it for 12 seconds and then he's locked out for 12 seconds. So with Bastion, you don't want to tank or turret mode up until you've got that sight line and you know you're going to get value out of it. When he took that fight over here and went turret, spent most of it trying to find a target instead of shooting a target. So unfortunately Bastion gets early picked, tank support get picked, and Bastion's back, but not exactly getting value because the team is staggered. So let's see how it goes. We've got a regroup. Mercy coming out. Bastion running way back. Okay, we're all stacked up. Okay. Another thing that we got to work on is we can't burn time like that. Part of this comes down to practice. Some of the players on this roster have practiced quite a bit, some of them haven't. So just being able to just jump in and go and know this is what we're doing. Okay, so Doomfist. Oh no! I actually am going to pause this. So Doomfist goes in, and Kerplunk. This is actually one of my favorite tactics when I play Sigma. So from the Sigma's point of view, he throws the shield past the Doomfist, which means any and all healing coming from Kiriko towards Doomfist is completely nullified. So it's good barrier placement, poor tank placement. I'm also curious what this Sombra's going to do over here, but we'll see. So yeah, make sure you don't walk through barriers and then wait for heals. I waited for the Bastion to get some shots off, break the shield, and then go in. Hey, this is winnable. Hanzo getting some good picks. Ooh, Sombra. No! Personally, based on this comp, Bastion's not exactly the best idea. He's an easy target for Hanzo. Sigma is the best tank to counter Bastion. And so this is a bit of counter pick. I would have swapped off Bastion a solid 40% ago. Or me personally, back at that pause, it's going to take more time. But if you, instead of pausing, just turn and run back to spawn, switch to a different character, and then run back. That would be faster and more efficient than taking 2, now 3 inefficient fights. Okay, that right there is a tank carry. Getting 2 solid kills, and from what I can tell, without a whole lot of support. You got Reaper support now, but... Don't just sit in the dragon. Okay, good. There we go. And the team's back. Good flip. Sombra's looking for an angle. Now, admittedly, this Sombra's not getting a lot of press value. Because, yeah, if she had focused really hard, she would have got the tank. So, in that case, we were blessed with a little bit of a target priority from our opponents by them not targeting the weakest opponent. Ooh, good punch. Double Kitsune, so everyone's shooting faster. Good shots from the Hanzo, taking out 2 of their players. Follow up from the tank. That's well done. And again, this Sombra, she made it out, but she's not getting value. I mean, ultimately she'll be able to, like, stall or something. The other really smart thing with the composition we're running is Reaper and Hanzo and Moira all largely function the same even when they're hacked. They lose an ability for a second and it interrupts abilities, but Reaper still just has 2 giant shotguns. That's a punch. Nice. Uh-oh. Now, one of the weaknesses with Doomfist, and Hanzo's about to find out, oh no, Doomfist! Is when you're running a Doomfist, you can't cover your team. If you're not this... Oh, nice one. Okay, and the Sigma used his cooldown. Cool. But, yeah, Doomfist can't... Unless he's disrupting another team, he can't block for them or intercede. Because, like, Zarya, she's very offensive, but she can still... Oh, here's a bubble. Roadhog, I'm like, oh, you're harassing my healers? Here's a hook. Another way is to protect your team, whereas Doomfist doesn't have those. He has to punch the harasser out of the way. Ooh, just like that. Good shots on the Sombra. Good dragon. Taking care of the lamp. That's pretty much percent. And a big thank you to Butter Apples for making that switch from Bastion to Reaper. In terms of efficiency, it just made it easier for players to stay in the game and get time on target. One of the focuses I've had with JV all season is getting your time on target. Tanks making space, DPS doing damage, confirming eliminations, supports providing healing, creating opportunities for DPS to get plays, saving players when they would have otherwise been eliminated. So, round 2, looks like we're keeping the exact same comp. Looks like they're keeping a similar comp. Change. Oh, I can't tell. Yeah. So Moira Cassidy instead of with the Hanzo Kiriko. So similar but not identical. So yeah, their Sombra's frontlining right now. So that's okay. Wait a minute. Okay, let's talk about positioning here. Actually, I'm going to back up further. Okay, I might have went too far. And sorry for pausing more frequently, but this team fight we're about to see up here is a prime example of positioning, and then, sadly for our team, inefficient positioning. We got away with it, but I definitely got to highlight it so we don't make the same mistakes. Okay, so we come up this way, and it turns out both teams took the same rollout, and they're coming right here to this middle fight. There we go. So, this space right here is what I want to call a kill zone. This space, I'm trying to trace it out. Basically, this middle square, near where the Doomfist is and where the shield is, that is designed to eliminate any player. So, ideally, we want to maximize how efficient that kill zone is without putting our team in jeopardy. If our team just stands here, and their team just stands here, it becomes basically a poke battle, where whoever gets the luckiest shot or whoever has the better aim is going to win. And playing with the skills that we have, that's not a safe way to confirm eliminations. It's very risky. So ideally you want to get a bit of a pinch, and Butter Apples does that, but wait. So we've got the 4 over here with good supports in place, keeping Doomfist alive. Good job, supports. And their team is all clumped up here. So this is if we had a Junkrat or a Pharah, this would be a playground. However, Reaper comes in onto Cassidy. Cassidy is still a strong counter for Reaper, because either the magnetic grenade will do a huge chunk of damage, or it'll force the Reaper to Wraith. Once the Reaper has no Wraith, he's an easy target. But also, there's no support here for the Reaper. I love how my pauses still get like these weird arm animations from so many people. Anyway. And there's no way for the supports to provide help. The Mercy has two walls in the way. Moira has a giant Fade Leap to get over there. So any way that they're going to help out the Reaper here is actually going to put the supports in danger. So either Reaper's going to die or the supports are going to die. Now, fortunately, okay, they boop him away, and he wraiths over here. Now, here's the other thing. Even with that Wraith, if this team were to rotate and speed around, ooh, and instead of going after the Doomfist, get the Reaper, Reaper has no Wraith, and just gets deleted. Or, if they even just around, hey, run away from Doomfist and come down this way, and just delete the Reaper. Ideally, you want to save those cooldowns like Wraith for critical moments, because once you expend that cooldown, you have to wait time before you can use it again, which is your delicate window. I can be killed now for the next 12 seconds, I believe is the cooldown on Wraith. So getting a solid pinch angle from here, if you look, Hanzo's coming over here on the side, that would be really great. Coming up the steps could work, it wouldn't be the best, but coming all the way around this way without support, or the support characters that can heal at range, was really risky. Honestly, what I would have loved to see is perhaps getting Hanzo over here. So he's getting shots lined up on that open area, or on the back line, and then getting a Tracer, Soldier, Sojourn, someone like that over on this angle, with the tank getting some front pressure, and then creating that long distance press. Because if you've got a long range damage character like a Hanzo, or maybe even a Torbjorn, Ashe, or Widowmaker, applying that pressure, it's going to take a lot of resources for them to get all the way over there, to get all the way over and counter that threat. They're going to have to use a speed boost, a tank shield, a Moira leap and fade, or fade and leap. So making them use more resources and making you use less resources. So yeah, Doomfist goes down. Let's see. Force the teleport. Ooh, Mercy down. So, nice shooting Hanzo. And in terms of map control, that I think that's going to be what we needed. However, the team fight was very fragmented. We lost 2 players because we had basically 3 different fights going on. We had the DPS duel over here, the blob of the team over here, and then a couple people on point getting cleaned up. If we just fight that more efficiently, we can lose less players to elimination, and we can eliminate more of their team. So yeah, there's Sombra. Unfortunate placement on trying to get that hack in. That Cassie doing work. Ooh. Okay. So that was a bit of I wouldn't call it an over ult, because you got 3 kills with it and basically cleaned up the rest of the team fight. It also saved the Reaper. The damage from that Blossom does self-healing, which kept Reaper alive through that magnetic grenade. Okay, next part of this. You don't want to get crazy, but you've got all 5 players. If you don't have time to get like a full press up here to this gate, you at least want to get set up for your next team fight. You never want to take the same team fight twice, unless it's just so biasedly advantaged in your favor. There are many matches I've played where it's just a throat stomp, and we're sitting here holding at the gate, because they just can't get through. So if you're just raffle stomping, team killing them every single time, then sure. This one here was not. It took 2 ults to get the map, or to get the point. So I would switch it up. You don't want to do anything crazy, but you do want to reposition. So Hanzo getting a completely new position in the first fight, solid. And then the team getting a new spot to go from. And you're not going to surprise a team too much, but you don't want it to be predictable. That way you can engage on your terms instead of, oh, they're shooting me, I should do something. Instead you can say, okay, they're coming, and go. When you're in affirmative control of the tempo, it gives you a much greater chance of success. Ooh, big Sigma ult. And beat from them. And oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm gonna say it right now. Their use of ults right there cost them that team fight. They used both support ults and the tank ult. So really, the most impactful ult on their team, and didn't get a single elimination. That's a heartbreaker. I'm glad we got out of it, but really that was just timing on when Q got pressed. Cleaned up the Moira. It's not over yet. Cool, got that one. There's still 2 left. Yeah, and so I hate Reaper's speed. He is so slow and clunky and frankly shootable from long range. But the mechanics here of just follow the tank, confirm the kill. Follow the tank, confirm the kill. Follow the tank and confirm the kill. That won the team fight. So really good at just tracking and at least trying to keep up with Doomfist. He's faster than most characters and leaps around a lot. Oh, solo kill? Not quite. But tank's there to help out. Got your Team Talon going on. Moira, Reaper, Doomfist. Noon. I have no idea where their Noon was. Oh, rip on that fade. Nice pick, Hanzo. And oh wow, they used an entire ult to eliminate one support. Okay, so they used 4 ults at least. Now, admittedly, they're most of the way back on those 3 ults they had already used, but that's pretty solid ult demand on their team. Gave up the point, but still took a lot out of them. And they've got a swap. Okay, good positioning. Careful getting out there. You got to support even. And based on how our team plays, getting a June Talmadge DPS support pocket going is going to create a lot of pressure and free up whoever the other support is to tank and to pocket the other tank and DPS and just create that 3-2 split on the opponent. Is really quite powerful, especially if you've got a DPS confirming eliminations and with just a little bit of support can carry a team fight. Let's see. Oh. Wasted an ult there. Good value on the Doom ult and punch. Good Moira ult. So that's 2 ults on our team, but again, we're just trying to fit with 3 ults. But hey, I finished the team fight and won the map. So well played. Going on for about 20 minutes now already. So there's some misplays going on the part of our opponents that helped us secure the win. One thing I would have loved to see in the match is calling those out of, hey, they over-ulted, they overextended, or we need to rotate this way or that way. There were moments where we're communicating, they're still not swapping, which is nice. But making sure that we get effective space after team fights, tracking ultimates and misplays on the other team's part, whether it's an occasional misplay or a big one that's, like, for example, I was playing Zarya, trying to clutch a map. The Sigma used his little pocket diva matrix, and I thought it was over, and launched my grav straight into it. I knew it was coming. I should have checked it better. It was a big play. It cost us the map. Instead of just, they don't have enough awareness to play and just taking advantage or getting lucky with that. I'd like us to be able to see where those advantages are and take them. But anyway, I'm going to get off this one. And I will